So to continue on the subject of deconstructing the image of John Scott, deconstructing the ego, you've also become interested in shamanic culture and practices in recent years. Sound has also become an integral part of your teaching. I guess, how do you see the shamanic practices being linked to the yoga practice, and how has this changed you?
That's a big one.
Juicy one.
I'm really naive, and I'm not embarrassed to even say that. There's so much that's in front of us that we don't hear, that we don't feel, that we don't see, we don't even taste, we don't even smell. So when our five organs of perception, those five senses are going out, they've been hijacked. And they're being hijacked into certain sort of boxes about this size, this size, this size. And really, we only end up then having a slice of reality, which is this size. And so through all of our programming, we've become misidentified with the slice of reality that we see. And part of that slice of reality is this physical body. I had a beautiful moment with Guruji, my Guruji, Sri Kapatari Joyce, when I finally touched his feet after 3 years. He touched my feet on the very first day, sweaty, sat down on my floor as equanimous as possible. We were on the same level, and he touched my feet. It took me years to realize that he touched my feet on the first day. But on the day that I touched his feet, it's a whole story in itself. Guruji said 3 things to me. And one of them was that that he was older than me, and it was a sign of respect to touch his feet. Secondly, was that he was my teacher, meaning he was the vessel that the knowledge was being passed through. And then he said, "I'm your guru." And when he said guru, he said, when you touch the feet of the guru, whatever the guru is, all darkness going, only good coming. Now, the link to the question is music. Let's say we don't realize we're naive. When we chant Vande Gurunam Charanara Vinde, every day we are singing. Now, we may not do the homework and do the translations and find what the true meaning of the chant is, but after many years, and I have been chanting that chant 37 years, what's rising up out of it? What's rising up out of that chant is that Patanjali's holding a sword in one hand, a chakra in the other, a conch in the other. Dharinam, holding. Yeah, we have a technique, we have a possibility to hold time in our hands, stop time. Yeah. We then have the possibility to transcend this physical realm to more subtle realms, to energetic cosmic realms, the conch, divine sound Om. That sounds a bit shamanic to me. That sounds a little bit out of this material world type thinking. And within the first verse, there's Nishraya say, Jangali Kayamani. What is Jangali Kayamani? Nishraya say, Patanjali acts as the jungle physician. So Guruji said he was older than me, teacher, he was guru. He was also my doctor. Guruji was also the jungle doctor. He was acting like the jungle doctor in terms of me meeting my misidentified self on the mat. So filtering through the repetition, it's like a mantra, repetition, Jangali Kayamani, jungle doctor. This is what we're doing. We're working with medicine. So there's supplementation. Let's say the asanas are supplementation. The pranayama is supplementation. Any meditation is supplementation. Now, we might get to the door and knock on the door and knock on the door and not get there. And so, yes, I've gone off track a little bit sometimes to have some experiences with supplements. And what the supplement has done for me is gone, that's the slice of reality you're looking at? Okay, let's take those 5 organs of perception, put them through this little portal, and you open up into a new state of reality. You start to see things in a different level, different depth. And so then you start to realize, shit, this solid thing is made up of atoms. It's made up of cells. And then you start to realize that everything has a sound. Now, we may not hear that sound because it's not in the range of our first one, sense of hearing. It might not be in that window that we have. But everything is vibrating. Everything is, and so when you realize that everything is vibrating, because in previous life, before yoga, I was a designer, I see pattern. And then I realized, oh my God, the Brahma Nada Brahma. That Brahma is sound moving through it now. It's my beloved Julia, my wife Julia, that's really taking me by the hand and said, Jonny, there's more to yoga than just asana reading and meditation. There used to be a time when the yoga was then part of the Ayurveda and a part of music. And so, yeah, through, again, connection, through relationship. So through my relationship with my beloved Julia, we've gone into researching a little bit more sound. Yeah, and so we start to now understand that Brahma is sound. First there was the word. And so, yes, I've had an ayahuasca experience where the first time I took my mask off, my ego was dissolved. My ego got dissolved on this ayahuasca ceremony. And during that ceremony, I took my beads off, unplaited the braid, and there was Jonny. But Jonny was much older than Jonny child. But Jonny then met this truth inside. Yes, it was a supplement, so it was only 6 hours. It continued for a few days afterwards. But of course, as those controls that were taken off in terms of the sensual perception, it come back to the standard controls, reality shifts back to this sort of solid dimension again. And of course, if we don't walk the talk, if we don't practice, if we don't follow our New Year's resolution and start doing, grinding the coffee, take the coffee beans, grind the coffee, and make a really good cup of coffee. You've got to do the experience. You've got to go through it. And so the supplementation that gave me an opening in terms of, yeah, this reality is much, much, much bigger. So in the chant, there's jungle physician. In that chant, it's also telling you that you have in yourself the technique. So we might have a supplement experience, but we have the sword. So the sword for me is my Ashtanga Vinyasa Yoga practice. That practice and the method of practice, as directed through Guruji to me, mind control, breathing system, counted method, Tristana, Vinyasa. When I work through them, that logical order, then I'm getting time. I'm stopping time. It's only the time that says you are this age or that age or past or future. No, you come into the truth moment, the moment of love. That moment of love is you find that within you. Then you hear the music of God. Brahmanada. You start to see it in everybody else. Yeah? And so that's when you've moved from the timeless time-space continuum into the conch. What does the conch represent? The conch is the divine sound Om. Warm. Everything starts from the unmanifest to the manifest. It is sound. So we take, what is that sound? That sound is word. First there was the word. Before word is a thought. Is it thought or is it idea? It can't be thought, because thought is duality. Idea is singularity. Idea is creation. When God was creating, did you think God was thinking? No way. Well, maybe the platypus in Australia had a bit of this and a bit of that all mixed up in it. It was unique, a unique animal. The zebra with the stripes. It's just one idea. The moment that an idea pops up next to another idea, then we get thought. Thought is conversation. The moment you have the conversation and thought, we've got the duality. And then there's noise. Okay, so we have to be really careful. There's sound. And just as you can be affected by passive smoking, how dangerous passive smoking is, think how dangerous passive noise is. Someone else's noise. Someone else's frequency. Someone else's thoughts. Someone else's wishes and desires. Do you want to take those on? No. Take it into your own mantra. This is where the cleansing and the purifying is. Through the sound, you change your frequency, change your vibration. Yeah? But Guruji was always saying, with sound, Ujjayi, free breathing, with sound, make noise. Most of the Shala now is so damn quiet. No noise in there. Now, what is your expression? What is your expressive Chatwari, Pancha, Shak, Sapta? Yeah, you get in there. Try putting, there's a good little technique. In the technique of Pratyahara, first sense of hearing, take some damn good noise reduction earplugs. Good synthetic one. Put them in there. And you'll know whether you do stiff breathing. You'll know whether you do stop breathing. Heard you say no holding the breath. No stiff breathing. Free breathing. All breathing is free. I hear the sound of my breath throughout the day. Of all the 37 years of practicing, it's the sound of my breath. I still have Guruji saying, make noise with sound. And because Julia's introduced me to that, I've really got, it's been repeated so many times. First there was the word. First there was sound. It's all made of sound. Sound and light.